I would like to openly, I'm going to come out of the lazy closet. I feel like for years
he knows
and years,
all about this.
For years and years,
he's been out for a long time. Welcome to the best hour of their day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez.
And me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
As both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better
boxes.
Welcome to
The best hour of your day.
Elie Zeitlin, CrossFit Coney Island. We'll talk about a few things. I want to talk about the fact that you've become very good at delegating and hiring and improving the systems at your gym.
Thank you. Yeah.
We also want to talk a little bit about the fact you're in, Coney Island. You're in a unique area, Brooklyn, New York, small space, getting to capacity. So talking about that, and also you're no stranger to politics. Hence your shirt.
I didn't mean to do that, but yes.
But you live in Brooklyn, New York. Politically,
We are split down the middle hard.
Unstable, I was gonna say.
Is it? I don't know.
Very hard, very
Okay.
left, very right.
Interesting. Okay.
So
Some sanity in the
That
middle.
can be hard to manage. So we'll talk about that a
let's
little
talk about all that. But
Sure.
but underlying theme, crushing it at the box.
Okay.
You're doing
I'll take
great.
that.
You
I'll take
bit.
that.
I mean, listen, from day one to now, yes. This dude came, he was like, hey, I want to show you something. He was like,
Okay, so I'll
Show
get
you-
that on my...
But you show him.
well, I had a
that-
phone call with you right in our early days where you walked me off the ledge.
You were going
talked
to
me off the ledge.
Coldplay.
Well, that was like my original call.
Very first call with him. He was about to get engaged.
and you said, don't do
I
that?
tried to advise
He
him.
warned me.
I was like, this is my first piece of advice I'm going to give you as your mentor. Don't do that. It's a big mistake.
Don't worry, my wife's not going to see this. We're fine.
Neither is mine.
We're
So,
on our way to Coldplay.
You're on your way to Coldplay,
I
and I
was
remember you're
zooming
in a
video.
convertible.
No, Jeep roof off.
Oh, okay, yeah, but
I mean, at that point, it's a convertible.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
and I was like, oh, like this was our first call.
Yeah.
But then tell me about what your first call with Fern was.
Well, I had a call with you where it was pre-wedding freak out. I had no money.
Yeah.
I was very, very
remember
nervous
that.
about things, and even the affiliate U membership was like, all of these things were weighing me down.
As a good,
hold on,
as
this
a
And
is
you
good
were a
Jew-
really good dude
As a
to
good
just
Jew, you
help me
should
out.
be afraid of money. Yeah.
Yes.
hold on. So would you mind sharing me what you shared last night at dinner about what your...
Okay, so maybe without the specifics, but
just give the bumper sticker version.
the bumper sticker version is from day one to now. I've probably
No, not that.
No,
Not
no.
that. The
The phone?
conversation with your father-in-law.
Oh, so I'm pushing 40, trying to
Are
marry.
you pushing 40?
I'll be 40 in a month.
You look great, dude.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm talking to my potential future father-in-law, and he wants to look at my finances, and he was underwhelmed.
Fern, you don't understand Jews.
He was quite underwhelmed, and in the
Your-
community
your
that I
wife-
live
your
in,
wife
it
is
was
Jewish,
probably
right?
super disappointing.
Your
Yeah.
wife's like, is she Orthodox?
She's religious.
Does she make you use the sheet?
All right, I was worried about getting canceled. Now I'm just worried about my wife.
My wife makes me use
My-
the sheet,
yeah.
but she's just like, put this over your face.
It's a bag. I have a paper bag that she puts over my head.
Finish the statement. Because this is important, because it was like
Oh,
what he was talking about is like, hey, that was what we had, but like I no longer feel that
Well,
way.
but
anymore.
Yeah,
And then it
so he
continued
was
the mastermind.
he was unimpressed with what I had going on financially, and I was also really stressed out. And he's just like, "Where's your money?" And I was like, "I'm working on it. I don't know. The stock
I
market's
got a few
down.
irons in the fire.
Bitcoin is in the trash right now. I don't know." I'm like, I had a lot of money in Bitcoin, It's just making up stuff because I felt terrible. I'll be honest. That was probably when I called you,
That was when you called me.
because that was like a beatdown, and that was a tough pill to swallow.
What did I say? I think I said, fuck this dude. I probably
I
said
don't know what
something
you
like
said.
that. Yeah.
I don't remember, but it was kind, and you were listening to me.
right.
Yeah, it was nice.
I got frustrated
That's what
with
I needed.
parents like that.
It was tough.
But what he was sharing with me last night was like that whole thing had come full. He was like, hey, he's like, because of what I'm seeing right now is just like what I'm capable of doing now financially it makes that interaction so much more vivid in my memory, and I see myself having come full circle on that.
Yeah.
You know, from an identity standpoint. And I was like, good for you, dude.
Well, if we look at it like if you had an old video of you trying to hit a muscle up and it just looked like a chicken wing terrible thing and now you're just stringing a bunch together, I would say that would be financially. I showed you my investments and it was a nice little graph.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So I was like, good for you, man.
Start and present.
Have you spoken to your father-in-law about that?
He just asked me how's business.
And, I mean,
say,
is it a better?
thank
Do you
God.
feel? I mean, and first of all, let's be clear. It's a little. Is he gonna see this?
He won't. I'm sure my wife will.
Is it?
If that, I hope she does.
Should I not? I'm not taking that one.
I don't know. I don't know.
I just won't say
I'll
anything.
just cancel
Don't.
you back.
I'm just
Don't
saying,
get you
like,
back.
Just not. Just-
you're putting your future son-in-law in a challenging, tough position. I understand the concern, the idea behind it. All those things are cool. What's more important is this guy clearly cares about your daughter.
Well, yes, of course. But you have to understand, this is a very unique community.
The Jews.
Where she comes from, not just the Jews, and now we're going down.
But she
a
is
path.
Jewish.
She is Jewish, sure, but it's a
you're
unique
Jewish.
community, specifically in this little part of Brooklyn where
High standards.
very high standards.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you had to say.
Either you have a lot of money or you look like you have a lot of money, but there's no other option.
Got it. So which one are you?
Yeah, you don't have either.
Well, now I kind of like the under the radar
Yeah, that's
situation.
the best
I
one.
like being underrated.
That's the
I don't
best.
mind that at all.
I said that to him about everything. I'm like, when people think I'm dumb, I'm like, good.
Perfect.
Like that, you're when I show you I'm,
okay
not.
with it.
Now you're gonna be impressed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's like you when you pay for dinner tonight for us.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like, damn.
That's right.
Let's just get that Delta refund. It was good.
Dude, on the Delta. All right, dinner on
Oh yeah,
Delta.
you got that,
Dinner on
you
Delta.
got that delayed Delta.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about it. You're at the box. Coney Island's bursting at the seams.
Occasionally, yeah.
mean,
We have some busy classes.
I've told you this before, you are one of the rare people that have been like, I think I need to cap classes. And I'm like, no. And then you'll show me like, this guy's barbell's poking into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like the door's
yeah.
open so we can do this. I'm like, we need to potentially discuss
Yeah.
it. But along the way,
Hold on, but before you do that, he's there now. Do you remember conversations we had where, because we had conversations where like, I don't think I can run as many people in the classes, and I was like,
I wanted to move or something.
I was like, take the governor off, baby. I was like, break it.
I love
and
it.
he-
Yeah.
and
I have a-
and you
it's-
did.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
I
mean-
have to program differently, which
I told
you
him
taught me
Right.
that.
I
Those are
told
the
him how to
things.
break it, though. I was just like, hey, you have to break it. You cannot just don't make those decisions until you know you can break the machine, right? Like, so if somebody's watching this, they're like, I want to, move or expand my space or whatever, and I'm like, break it first. Break it first. Like, burst at the seams, and I don't mean one class. You're like,
Yes.
the 5 p.m. is busy, and I'm like, that's not bursting at the seams. It's one busy class, or otherwise stated 20% of your offerings if you're running, 5 classes a day.
One day.
One day.
There's a little bit of a culture shift too. I had to explain to my staff and even the members. There'd be a class where it's stuffed, and they're like, "When are we moving?" I'm like, guys, I love it here.
It's
We're
also
gonna
not
figure it
as
out.
easy as you think to move.
Yeah, no.
Period.
At this point, I want to squeeze this puppy.
No, I mean, just you're the members.
Every drop
when
out
are
of
we
it.
moving? Like,
Well, I also think this is an opportunity. When that happens, most gym owners, which I think you would also agree with, is like when that message comes inbound, most people have a visceral reaction to it, right? Because they know all the information that's going on, right? You're just like, they're like, we need to expand, or we need to move, or we need to do all these things, and you're just like, I don't have time for this shit, right? Instead of taking the pause and be like, why do you think that? And they're like, well, this. And I'm like, cool. Let me tell you why we're not expanding so that you understand the logic behind my decision-making process, which is like, that's one class. And if I look at this, it's one class twice a week, which does not warrant increasing our overhead by 35%.
Yes. Oh yeah, and in my situation, it would be much more.
well, yeah, I mean, you
I
have
would
a good
be
spot.
tripling my rent for anything worth the move square footage wise.
This is my
I would
point.
be. My rent would be $20,000 a month at least.
This is my
or
point.
15.
And gym owners are like, well, it's just $1,000 more a month. And I'm like,
No.
that's $12,000 a year. Do you think you could hire help, give yourself a raise for, like, would you not prefer to put that in your pocket and run a more efficient business? And I'm not saying there's not a time and place to move. Like, sometimes you got to do that. right? Like sometimes that is the answer. Like, yo, you've outgrown this shit. But there's
Maybe
still
one day.
solutions there. Like, okay, now we have to raise prices. Like supply demand now is at its like cross section.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, we have to restructure this, and now we're in a new territory. You know.
Well, that point, I was like, we got to get out of here. It was annoying.
I was like, no,
I just reinvented how I'm programming. I got
Yeah.
smarter, partner workouts, more dumbbells, rowers and barbells at the same time are not a thing.
Too much square feet.
Even
That's
something
okay.
like it's cheaper to change all your barbells out for stubby bars.
I
than
like
it is-
those.
right?
It's a one-time cost.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I did that from the get-go.
It's one-time cost versus $1,000 a month every month.
And it really,
Yeah.
you could probably do that and break even by selling some of the old bars.
Worst case scenario, you'd have to pay 25%.
Right.
25%. Like it would cost you.
Just sell the old ones.
Sell the
use
old
that
ones, get the
towards
new
Yeah,
ones.
but they don't have that whip. Like
You don't need that.
No one
bounce.
needs- no one needs that
You
whip.
want to
Kidding.
snatch.
Keep one bar for yourself.
Oh yeah,
So,
No.
what was the first thing you delegated at the box?
cleaning it.
How'd
But
that
don't
go?
you clean better than
Probably.
everybody else?
Yeah, aren't you the best? Don't you just enjoy it?
Yeah, no. Well, this is where I was like, should I admit this on the air?
Yeah, do it. You're here.
I would like to openly. I'm gonna come out of the lazy closet. I feel like for years
He knows
and years
all about
and,
this.
for
Yeah,
years
I've
and
been in
years
that
and
lazy
years.
closet.
He's been out for a long time.
So CrossFit has this culture of like you gotta work hard until you're dead. Like it's just you gotta crush it. And I felt that way also as an owner. And I don't think that's the right thing. And also as a CrossFitter, you have to be good at everything. You have to squat heavy and be able to run 5 miles fast. And I felt as an owner, I gotta be good at cleaning and all this
Well,
stuff.
and-
And I don't think that's the thing.
What you're saying is true. You do have to work hard, but you have to work smart. And you working hard on cleaning is not as effective as you working hard on almost anything else at the box. From improving your systems and operations to reaching out to leads
Yeah.
to dialing in the programming so we don't have to expand. There's so much you can be doing, and many people can clean.
I honestly think I'm just more pleasant when I am stress-free and I get to talk to the members.
You are, I'm speaking from firsthand experience, you are way more pleasant when you're not stressed.
Yeah,
I'd say that about
I
everybody.
actually do enjoy cleaning. But I'll tell you
something
why.
about
It
it.
has nothing to do with cleaning. It's one of the few things where I'm mindlessly doing the lemming
meditative,
thing.
for
It's like
sure.
meditative.
I'm
for
okay
me.
with it.
However, I'm not convincing myself that's the best use of my time. I'm like, this is like a little bit of me time where I'm just like, I'm gonna turn the scrubber on and I'm just gonna go around and do that. Like,
But
whatever.
even then,
I
I would
mean-
tell you, like, cool, for 2 hours, go meditate somewhere. Like,
I turn it into like a grunt work type thing, and I'll sweep into beautiful little piles, and you know,
No, and that was
you're
like-
mowing the lawn with the scrubber, and it's
you've maybe been
F
on
that,
calls
dude.
with Elie, who's like, I'm the only one that can clean, and I just love it. I'm like, it's like a.
If she likes it.
It's like a vegetarian coming up to me and saying like, I don't eat meat because I love animals. I'm like, awesome. I hear you.
See,
But
this
when
is
you-
where I fundamentally disagree, right? I
on vegetarianism or
Yes, but that's not the
no,
point.
but
No, on the cleaning, which is like, hey, I like to do this. I'm like, I don't necessarily think that's true. I think you like the outcome of what that is, and that outcome does not need to be facilitated by you. Gym owners want a clean gym, but if you're telling me that you wake up every morning, you're like, I like to scrub floors. I'm like, then you would have started a fucking cleaning business,
Right.
and you would have
Okay.
done that.
you're also just bad at teaching people what you want, which is a clean floor.
And more importantly, and I have been this person and still am to some degree in certain aspects. When you're doing that, you're doing it as an avoidance tactic to not do the shit you know you need to do. Like you just are.
which is also probably less objectively like complete. Like if you do these little
Right.
tactical
Where cleaning
maneuvers,
is like, I
There's
you
no
can't
outcome.
see a beautiful gym.
Right.
There's something that you are closer to figuring out now.
Right.
So,
Right.
And that's not really a
but
beautiful
you
thing,
delegate
so-
it. You no longer clean.
I love delegating
What'd
now.
I want to hear what else you delegated.
Anytime I'm
Jay
doing a
rubbed off
job
too
and
much.
yeah, thank you. And you're making
So
me look really bad now.
would
My
you-
staff is gonna hate
Katie,
me.
here's the
No,
credit card.
'cause
Be like,
guess what?
she started yesterday. What are you doing?
You're paying them.
I pay them
So
if they're doing a job.
What was the cleaning transition like?
I probably did it a couple times with Sam, our office manager. She's kind of like our overall doing all the other things.
It's like your gym mom.
Just kind of walked. She's our gym mom. She's like forever 18. I don't know, she's 22 now, but I just. And I probably walked her through the cleaning the gym a couple times. I said, take the trash out, clean the bathroom, whatever.
What was next?
What was next?
Well, you're skipping
billing,
an obvious
payroll.
one, which was coaching. You delegated, you hired for coaching.
Yes. Well, part of it was my ideal day, right? And a lot of it was not like
Scrubbing the floors.
being on the schedule, doing everything.
So how close are you now to your perfect day?
From my original perfect day, I'm there.
But then it's changed a little bit?
Yeah.
Because Marcus...
I'm the dog
Marcus
that caught the car.
We were walking, actually this morning, we was telling me, we're chatting with you, he's like, he's a legit musician?
Hell yeah, baby.
He was like...
That's a secret, though.
I was like, you think he's not serenading me, sending me songs?
I sent you a video, and then I was like, oh, that was so lame of me.
Oh, man, it was saved.
Such
Marcus, right there. He was telling how great of a musician
that's the
Elie
man
is.
right there.
He was like, you're like a legit, you could be on the radio musician.
Oh, well, now it's
I've never
awkward.
gotten anything
I get
from
so
you.
uncomfortable because I feel like this is a yin and yang in my personality, and I hide one side of me away for...
You don't hide any of it, dude. Like,
Now I feel-
Well, because I feel very close to you.
Not from you.
Yeah.
See,
I
friend,
feel-
do you want to see?
I
No,
see all of him.
don't send me that
I see
shit.
all of Elie.
Yeah.
I brought my ukulele. I'm just kidding.
How'd you,
We're going to play it for a song.
let's-
Push Press is the easiest full suite software that you can get to run your business.
One of the best things about Push Press, I would say, is the customer service. Hands down, they are the best. We know them all by name. They hear a lot from us.
They know us.
And they know us, but they're there to help you. And they're also gym owners, so they understand.
They are out of this world and helping their clients and just have a true passion for helping gym owners. They're so good with customer service.
If you're not using it and your business is ready for it, or you're having stress with the system you're using, it's a no-brainer to give them a call.
Before we found Push Press, managing different things was very complicated and confusing, and so we just needed something that was more user-friendly.
If I had to describe Push Press, it would be comprehensive because they really understand what a gym owner needs and they give us all the tools that we need to be successful. In fact, I don't think I've ever talked to somebody from Push Press that didn't own a gym. So they understood, and I immediately connected with the people there, and the products that they gave me were just, this is everything I needed. Like, where have you guys been my whole life?
The best way that I can describe Push Press is absolutely phenomenal.
If I had a gym owner friend that didn't have Push Press, I would tell them that it's life-changing when it comes to having more time to work on the business, and the support is coming from other gym owners that are trying to do the same thing that I'm trying to do.
Where are some areas you move closer to that perfect day?
That I have?
Yeah, already, yeah.
I'm there.
You're there now?
I'm pretty much there. Maybe like I don't want to coach the early morning classes
Okay,
anymore.
I want to stay there
'cause
for a
just don't
second.
wanna wake up early.
So I want to talk about that process because a lot of people, I don't think fundamentally understand that exercise. So
The perfect day
the perfect day exercise, meaning, okay, I wrote all this stuff. This looks like a fantastic day. Like, so what? Great. How long did it take you to get from writing that
From
to
writing
like
it to-
defining it to getting it?
Well, you did it early on.
A year and a half.
Okay, so talk about how that happened because there's delegation inside of that. Like you fundamentally can't get there unless I'm
not a
bringing in.
switch.
Yeah.
It's a process, right?
A lot of it was getting coaches on and being very comfortable with the coaches, knowing that they can really pull their weight. And I love our coaching staff.
But I think what you're saying too, Fern, is like a lot of people write their perfect day, and that's it.
And just think it'll never happen.
Right,
I did it.
You have to
Oh,
make
it's
a
a
lot
homework
of,
assignment.
a
That's
lot
it.
of small changes. Like you said, you're even a couple steps still of like, all right, if I truly want it, I would get rid of
I
that
could
morning
dial it in,
class,
sure,
right?
yeah.
So what does that look like? I have to hire someone.
But there's some points there. Look, I do like coaching, so I don't really want to schedule myself off the program. So I like it. I don't really like waking up early in the morning, but I want to see the 7 a.m., 6 a.m. guys once or twice a week.
And I also think there's a balance between like, this is like, if I had no responsibility in my life, perfect day.
Dude,
and this
no
is a
way.
perfect day while owning a box, trying to become a better.
Exactly. I still have a job.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be like playing video games all day. Oh, it's my perfect day. What's up with the
My
gym?
perfect
I don't
day,
know.
I'd
Ask
be
Sam.
A bunch of 8th graders at Call of Duty.
Yeah. We have TVs upstairs, guys. Let's go.
So,
How long could you go on vacation for?
How long ago did I go?
No, how long could you go on vacation for?
He's saying, how long can you leave the box?
I'm kind of dreaming of it. I don't think it's really going to happen, but I feel like theoretically I could do like a 6-week.
Why would you not try it? Actually, a little coaching here. What would need to be true in order for you to leave for 6 weeks?
So I was just dreaming about this out loud a couple days ago. So on our honeymoon last year, my wife and I went to Italy.
Okay.
It was gorgeous, best day of my life, all that stuff. And I just feel like I want to absorb that. I want to absorb the calmness and the beauty and the smells for 6 weeks and feel what it's like to really live there. So I was dreaming about that.
In Boulder, Colorado.
Well,
no,
that's another.
Very similar to Italy.
During COVID for 2 months and things figured itself out. We were closed.
You're from the Colorado area,
yeah.
So it wouldn't be. We talk about.
I think
back to the fucking point.
Back to the point.
What would need to be true?
What would need to be true? The program is.
Somehow we ended up in Boulder.
I mean, theoretically, I could either program that whole chunk of time in advance, or if I wanted.
So programming is the hang-up.
And like the classes that I coach would need to be covered.
All those you could fix within the next hour.
Honestly,
solve that today.
It is not a problem. It would be more like, hey, coaches, like maybe you're already coaching a little too much. You're going to coach a little extra.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. So you might as well do it on purpose because something is going to happen at some point that will very likely require you to do that. And it might not be 6 weeks. Don't get me wrong. But fundamentally, it's not that you don't want to interact with those things, that you should be capable of not interacting with them, and they should still happen at a high clip.
And it's an experiment that like you can kind of figure out what went wrong.
You know, I'll be super honest. Like when I left, when I was at school for 3 weeks in May.
What school was that?
At Harvard.
Yeah. It was a small school
What's
in Cambridge.
the streak on
small
mentioning that
Cambridge
per podcast?
Every single episode.
Small school in Cambridge. That was I did an intentional exercise there, and I said, hey, and I told the team, I was like, I've left for 2 weeks at a time, and nothing happened, but I tell everybody, but I'm still kind of interacting with people, and I said, I am a ghost.
You're gone
for 3 weeks. I'm like, for all intents and purposes, you cannot get a hold of me, and I will not respond to anything, and just to see what would happen. And I was not concerned about anything, but I said, there's something that I'm missing. So then I came back, and I was like, hey, how was it? They're like, it was fine. I was like, and I said, just as a thought experiment, how long do you think we could sustain that before you guys ran into a problem? And you're like, we don't know what to do.
I could do 3 weeks right now.
And they were like, like maybe 2 months. Like 2 months would probably be a problem. And so then I was like, well, why? What would happen at 2 months that didn't happen at 30 days? And they're like, well, we just kind of wouldn't know what to do. And I was like, oh. Strategy. You guys don't understand the strategy. So I need to be able to lay out 12 months where you could be like, hey, we're supposed to be doing this in Q3,
parties
Q4,
and all that stuff.
But not just events, right? Like the actual strategy for the year, which is like really high. Like we're up here, right? And then my job is to kind of communicate that, and then they execute it, which they do, right? I don't turn any wrenches, I don't push any buttons, I don't turn any dials in the gym. Like everything runs every day, and I don't touch it. But if I did move out of that position, you would still need somebody to do that job, which is like, hey, make sure the strategy is getting executed.
So would you have the whole staff do that, or would that be one person?
No, that needs to be one person. That's right. So then,
that's your manager.
Yeah. So now that's like, that was a blind spot of mine that I need to start to fill. So then I've been outlining that. I'm like, okay, because I don't necessarily want to leave for 3 months, but that's not the point. The point is you should be capable of doing that, because if you can do that, now you legitimately are only doing the things that you want to do. Yeah. And then I'm going to now I'll go back onto the floor and coach the 9 a.m. because so-and-so is taking that meeting, or they're making sure that this happens. And I literally have gone back in time to just be a coach again in my own business.
The way you want to.
The way I want to.
Yeah.
So I think you owe it to yourself to do the exercise.
I think I could do it. Well, I've been out of town this whole summer.
But my point is you don't even have to leave. Just don't go to the gym.
Don't do there.
Yeah.
I get FOMO, though.
Go to another gym.
I don't want to go to another
gym. Come to Boulder.
My gym's the best. I would do that. I'm trying to get my wife over there, trying to plant that seed, get her to Colorado.
What were some of your hang-ups in delegation? Why'd you struggle with it early on?
Maybe just asking people to do a job, or maybe asking people to do a job that in my own mind is shitty. I don't want to ask someone to take out the trash or whatever, bring the laundry to the laundromat. It's kind of feel weird about asking people.
I think that's fair, but I think you then reframe it as you're paying them. And
yeah, as soon as I say I'm paying you, I guess I feel guilty too. I'm going on a vacation. Somebody cover me. Obviously, I'm going to pay you. And then it's like, you're going on your 10th vacation this week.
These are, I think, normal feelings.
They're
but I also
definitely
think
normal feelings.
It's
yeah.
also important
it's a
to
little bit
recognize
imposter syndrome.
I have that super bad.
Everybody has it.
We were all that person that had a boss that made more money, that made us do shit we didn't want to do, that was going away. Like, I was at a restaurant.
That's why I opened a gym. I was kind of tired of that.
Yeah, we all.
Yeah.
I mean, with the exception, I mean, even to some extent, Vern, but being in the military, it's like we were able to make those changes.
Yeah, but here's the deal: nobody has a problem with it if they have if they work for a good leader. Everybody resents the person that they hate that does that.
Right, and they get paid.
Right, but even if you get paid, and I hate the person I work for, that's different than I'm like, I get paid, and I really like my boss, and he takes 10 weeks of vacation here. I'm like, I don't care. I really like him. He's a good leader. Like, who cares?
Also, you could be a shitty leader and just pay people a lot.
But even then, that won't.
But then they're gonna get irritated. that you're just never around.
But even then, that will not last. Because at some point, people, I'm like, dude, you and I see it all the time. They're like, hey, I'm gonna quit this job. And I'm like, you make good money.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but this really kind of sucks. You know.
Fair.
And I'm like, okay.
Fair.
It's tough. I mean, I do love my staff, and I really do. I sometimes wonder if I'm doing a good job communicating it. And
do you ask them?
Yeah. Oh. Have I told you I love you lately?
But it's true. Like, we were talking to Julia earlier about her rate increase, and she was afraid. I was like, tell him. Right? Like,
that's nerve-wracking.
Let's role play. I'm your
For
staff.
what?
I'm the 22-year-old
Dude,
girl.
like, we still do this, right? So him and Katie were fighting the other day for way too long.
We're still in a fight.
We're still in a fight.
Damn, if you're fighting with Katie, that's
but again,
bad.
This is the point, right? So like, I know
She's
Jay.
not all sunshine and rainbows.
I know. Here, I'll tell you.
Oh boy.
I'll let you guys a little secret on Jay. Like, Jay wants to be a good leader. He's not, but he wants to be one.
He wants to be. Yeah. And I want to be in the CrossFit games.
No, he wants to be. He
know.
wants to be a good leader, and we all have like our friction points, right? Like, but Jay also is like, hey, I like my schedule, right? So, in events and weekends like this, those two things have conflict. Because it's like, hey, I want to do this because I need to be here. And the team's kind of like, yeah, but it'd also be nice if you came to the thing with us because, like, you're the boss, right? It's cool. But he's like, but I don't want to. And they're like, but it'd be cool if you did. And he's like, but I don't like it. And they're like, we get it. But they have to have that conversation. And then they landed in a good spot. And Kitty's like, what would make you feel good about going to the things?
I said if Elie was there.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. But again,
you can't come all the time.
But this is my point, which is, like, you have to have those conversations. Like, you have to work through that. And
it was good in the sense that, like, we were both just communicating, I think is what you're saying. Like,
yes.
There was a lot of, like...
Have the conversation and understand it's not going to be super clean on the front end.
I
Because you're
feel
both
like
struggling to, like, form the thought.
I was the same as you in, like, in that scenario what Fern's talking about. Like, I would be hesitant or embarrassed to be like... Because I want my schedule to be good for me.
Right.
And, like, it felt
and
like...
you felt guilty about it
like,
somehow.
I felt guilty, like, I'm either a shitty leader or I'm being selfish. But then I also reframed it of, like... And in part to Fern and Marcus, we're like, yeah, but if you do that and you show up and you're great all day, that's how you become, like...
Yeah.
And it's the same for you where, you know, you feel shitty, but it's like, well, if you want to advance Elie, which advances Coney Island, which advances these people's opportunities...
Yeah.
Because that's part of what I'm thinking with her. I'm like, all of you over there that are getting paid by best hour... You better hope I'm in a good mood because this drives our business forward. And if we drive this business forward, you all advance.
Yeah.
And it's the same for you.
But my point was just like there's a compromise there, which is like, hey, you can't just be like, hey, I'm never going to deviate from anything that I want to do. But it's like, oh, I'm not going up. I'm like, well, dude, sometimes you got to go, right? Just like sometimes they have to do some shit, but they don't want to do.
It's the perfect day analogy.
Right.
Like, this isn't my perfect day, but I also sit back. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty
close.
Pretty
Right.
freaking good day.
Right.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Right. So
well, having that conversation, I think that's one of the biggest things in my delegation, et cetera, now that I didn't have 5, 7, 8 years ago, is just being able to have those hard conversations. Like, I was so passive aggressive, and I just hold on to stuff. When I was first starting, like, I felt like, oh, you should know that was a bad job.
Why? Do you know why you were like that?
I think
have you always been like
imposter syndrome, a little bit insecure. I think
that makes sense.
I kind of grew up that way.
That's fair.
We're all very loving in the family, but nobody ever got in trouble.
I've worked with you for a long time. I get it.
But I'm not. I'm a lot less like that now.
Well, that's how it works.
Yeah.
You just get better.
Yeah.
As long as you're working on
I
it.
lost my patience, and I realized the importance of it. And I
How
have a really good staff where if I tell them, hey, you know, you mailed that thing in, and I want you to step up your game a little bit.
Okay.
And they'll be like, you're right.
So
you caught me.
Talk to me about that, right? So
I was
gonna ask you, how often So there's delegation, and I think people are just like, hey, you've got it, go. And then we're like, and I never have to follow up with Jay ever again. And I'm like, probably
He's a mind
not.
reader.
All right, guys, if you like this content, please subscribe to the podcast. But understand, we work with affiliates. If you are interested in building your business, understanding strategy, building a better community, and building better coaches and careers for them, hit the link somewhere around this video, and we'd love to have a call with you. How often, and I don't even mean formally, but like how often would you say you talk to, because I was trying to quantify this the other day. Like I was trying to quantify the number of interactions Cassidy and I would have like on a given day about stuff, but how often would you talk to your staff? And I don't mean like, hey man, what's going on? Did you see what's going on? And blah, 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 blah.
Like about the gym or adjusting something that was not great?
That's about the gym.
An adjustment.
Or just about the gym. Be like, hey, this is what is going on today. This is what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, change that, do whatever.
I wonder if they call bullshit on this. I feel like I touch base with everybody every day.
Okay.
Or most days.
So
maybe not like our super early morning coach.
Right.
I see 3 days a week, so at least like we have an opportunity face to face to like talk about something if we need to.
This is an interesting concept I've learned recently, or I don't know if I learned. I was exposed to it recently, which is it was a discussion about feedback, and they were like doing these studies on, large corporations and the most highly effective organizations had two components. One, they did have an official feedback loop, right? So if in a CrossFit gym, it's just like think that's your coach evals or maybe your weekly meeting. And they said, while that was important, it was a distant second to the frequency and volume of the unofficial feedback. And what they called it was just like, hey, if you had to opt for one of the two, you would opt for the second one. And just say, and what they said was like, hey, feedback on the go is better than none.
It's way more my style.
Right? But everybody thinks you have to have this super rigid format, and it's just like, you do need a component of it. But if that is the main vehicle for delivery, you've over-indexed in the wrong direction, which is the way you actually get what you want is like these quick little like, hey, that email you sent yesterday, like, here's what I think, like, you tune that up, and just like when you send that out next time, just make sure that happens.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I got it, right, cool. I'm like, that
and it's
right
less
there.
douchey if it's casual.
But it's more candid, right? And it's more personal that way. And they did studies, and they were like, the organizations that had super high feedback loops that were not in official capacity had the best culture and highest efficiency. When it was just like, hey, it was a drive-by. It was like, hey, real quick, when you do that again, here, I want you to think about it this way, or do that, or order that next time. That was actually wrong. And they're like, yep, got it. And I think about, like, that's what Cassidy and I do, have morphed into really well. He'll come to me like, here's what I got. And I'm like, change it. Or I'm like, hey, can I talk to you real quick? And he's like, yep. But we do have a meeting every week. The vast majority of our communication is on the fly.
Right, but if you're in the meeting, you're like, all right, guys, you've been coaching really lazy in class. The meeting, that's going to be a drag.
Well, it's going to be a drag, but understanding why it's a drag is important. It's a drag because, like, you probably, it's a surprise. You had multiple opportunities to bring that up, and you avoided it.
So that's the emotional equity. You know about that?
Yes.
So if I give you 100 compliments and then I diss you one time, you'll be fine. But if every other word I say to you is like something,
6 to 1 ratio.
6 to 1, there you go. That's why I
negative
talk to
to
you
positive.
guys.
Yeah.
So I try to do that.
The bare minimum, I would say. But like, even with your wife, I know for me, like, one place I really worked at is with the au pair at the house. Like, all day long, I'm just, hey, great job. Like, so when I have to give her feedback, I'm giving her like 30 compliments today. But the same should be with your wife, right?
Obliterate my wife with compliments all day long.
But the same holds true with your staff. Like, if you're the owner that's like only thinking what they did wrong versus like, hey, great job coaching Fern again his heels, and great job over there, and you cleaned the gym.
Hey, that email was perfect.
Right.
Like, well done. That design is awesome. Really good job rolling those out on time. I'm super happy with that. Like,
I bet I could do better at it too.
Everybody.
We all
probably
can.
could do better at it.
I think there's simply being aware that you're doing it or not doing it, and not. Meaning, like, you're either aware that it's happening, and being aware would essentially like force you to fix it, or you're not aware, at which point like you don't do it.
Honestly, it's a great feeling when I send a text to a coach like, hey, I watched you coach 9:30. I know you thought I was in the office, but I was paying attention, and it was a good class. I had a good vibe. Great job. Like, I feel pretty good about it.
You feel good by doing it, but you also feel good because you know they're about to feel good.
I hope I'm making their day. But it feels awesome. And that's when the gym is great. When I'm chilling in the office, doing whatever, but I can hear a good class happening.
I want to chat about this. Going back to where we started earlier, just like, hey, you live in a pretty
politically diverse,
polarizing area. and you have kind of like a no politics.
I put it that way gently, but yeah, I try to
How would
really
you put
keep
it not
that,
gently?
keep that shit out of here.
Okay,
I don't
I
want to
think
freaking talk about
Well, you
that
had a
anymore.
really, you had a
very-
tight
that's a very
situation.
clear-
Honestly,
that's a very clear-
If you and I are having drinks and it's like casual, it's okay. But I think on a regular basis, we're being without our willingness, we are being bombarded with these
What was it?
messages all
You
day.
had a pretty serious political issue.
That was a call I had with you where I
Yeah.
just got you on the phone and we schmoozed because it was October 7th and it was an unfun day.
Got it. Yeah.
That was an unfun day.
Yep. I can see that.
I didn't really love it
Yeah.
for a lot of reasons. And then I was being pressured to make statements via
Yeah.
the gym. Didn't really want to. And then that pressure increased from people that I was surprised they would be applying a pressure, and people that I thought, do you really need me to speak my mind on this? Like, if you know me personally, do I have to tell you what I think about this? Do I have to publicly
I want to
make an
give
announcement?
everybody permission, and I think there's some components of this weekend that apply to this as well.
Yes.
I think you have the right to not respond, and in some instances, that is actually the best response.
But you get obliterated no matter what you do,
That's fine.
and that's fine.
And that's fine. I think you would still feel good about saying like, hey, maybe this is not a time for me to express my opinion on something. Like, you don't have to.
Can I tell you, it seems like it almost belittles the moments also. Like, what does it matter
There's just
what
generally-
CrossFit Coney Island says about
It just generally doesn't
anything?
matter.
Some massacre?
Right.
Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? You
Right.
care what your CrossFit coach is going to say? Like,
No.
now
And
I
this
got to
is-
speak to my PR rep to make sure I say
want
it right.
everybody, because you're a business
Leave me
owner and
alone.
you're a leader of a community, and I think I want to give everybody permission to be like, you do not have to make statements on these things.
So
Like, there's almost no upside.
yeah.
Right,
no,
not
it's
only do you not
terrible.
have to, you should probably
It's
not.
It's a lose-lose for sure. So the statements, if and when it gets to that moment, my statements, what I try to say is that CrossFit Coney Island, we're super diverse. We
Right.
literally have, if you can imagine it, we have it. We have gay, straight, Jewish, Muslim, white, black, every color,
For the record, that's like
everything.
every gym.
Yeah.
Every
Right.
gym, but now we're in Brooklyn.
Right.
So it is melted and smushed,
Yep.
and it's far right, far left, heavy on the news, and don't bring that shit in here. Because, one, I want us all to be happy. We're bombarded with that 23 hours a day. That's enough.
Right.
That is so enough. Like, 1 hour, it's safe. It's good for you
To not talk about it.
unplug. It is really good for you, especially when you're plugged in. It is stress. Like,
I also think
I feel
there's some-
bad for these people. It's unhealthy. You're in my gym and I'm trying to get you healthy.
I also think
Stop
it's
with
just just be present with the people that you're with.
It's okay.
Be like, yo, you good? Yeah, I'm good. I'm
okay.
like, cool. It's okay that we don't all have to agree 100% on all of the things, right? Be like, just be nice to people.
Totally.
That's it, dude. And
Totally.
I feel like that is like a lost art. Be like, just be nice to people. I
We
don't care how
celebrate
you feel about
respect, kindness. Did you try hard in the workout? Did you squat below parallel? Great job, Tommy. Like, I don't care.
I take
You know?
the Michael Jordan approach, which is Republicans buy my shoes and Democrats buy my shoes.
Yeah.
Right? Don't.
Zip
And,
it,
and
buddy.
I've seen box owners, which is like, good. I want you to go if you don't have this. I'm like, no, you don't.
Why would you
like,
do
they,
that?
They still pay you, like, and whoever they vote for doesn't
First
matter.
of all, forget the pay. All right, money's the nice thing, but are you in the business of owning a gym for the money? Yes, okay. But aren't you here to change lives?
Right.
And
Only
so
if-
I'm
only if
only
they
going
vote
to
a
change a
certain way.
liberal's life.
Yeah.
If you vote for Trump, come and see me. I'll get you a six-pack. Get out of here. Oh, you voted for
You don't
I
even
messed up
know
her name.
this.
Cancel me. You were going to vote for Biden? There's a gym down the block. Go to Orange 3 around the corner. They'll like it. Come on. No, I
done.
don't care about
But
that.
clip that, Nate, and make
dumb.
Elie look
Can you
super.
put that in that I said her name right?
CNN.
That would be great. I knew I'd get canceled. I didn't know it would be like that.
Just for making a mistake.
That's legit canceled. by
Yeah,
the way.
I think we
yeah.
should
We walked
cancel
you
you.
right into that one.
Hashtag
No, but
cancel Elie.
I wanted to bring that up, like, because you're wearing that shirt. And I was
I'm
like,
biting my
it's
tongue
funny.
hard.
But the point is like, I think whatever your leanings are on any scenario, like, doesn't even have to be political. It's just like, cool, have them. Also understand like where and when it's appropriate.
It's none of your business.
And in your professional setting, I'm going to argue that it is not appropriate. Just keep it to yourself. It's not the point. It's not what you do. Actually, nobody cares. Spoiler alert.
They care now, but in 20 minutes, when the next thing happens, it's over.
They don't.
But they don't actually care what you think. They care whether you agree with them or not. Is actually what they care.
It's so bizarre.
So
we're in a weird time.
Don't worry about it. So,
all right.
Again, that's a good leadership lesson. And I want to stress is like, not doing something is a decision. And I think some people always feel compelled to do something, and I'm like, no. I'm actively not doing something. That is my decision. And that's okay.
Oh yeah. Well, I made that decision, and I mean, I don't want to get into it too much, but I told you some like the names that I was called when I was like, actually, I'm gonna do my best to try to keep this out of the gym, because everybody who's really hurt by this moment, I think they need that 1 hour vacation.
Right. There was
and by the way, same with me. That was a hard day for everybody paying attention.
Right.
It's not like I wasn't,
There was nothing to be gained by.
No.
Get out of here with that. Yeah.
Elie, CrossFit Coney Island.
CFCI.
Doing the work.
When I have to.
When you're moving towards your perfect day.
If I can, I get someone else to do it.
Delegating more. Living a great life with your wife. Proving your father-in-law wrong.
Yeah.
Moving to Boulder.
Oh,
for 6 weeks.
Baby. Oh, Boulder.
Yeah.
Not Italy. Boulder.
No, Boulder, Colorado, Superior.
Boulder, Italy.
I feel like I have a place to stay in Boulder, right?
No.
Oh, no. I thought we had a little Airbnb
There's a hotel.
situation.
$325 a rate night, or night rate.
Yeah, no, we got you. So it's just been great seeing your journey, great seeing you evolve.
I want to thank you. You guys were quite helpful in that journey.
Keep going.
All right, hold on. I do want to say, I think there are some intangible things about Best Hour of Their Day that I don't even know if you can talk about and if people will get it.
We can edit it out. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, this guy passing by, it's probably not a sales pitch, but yes, we follow those systems, and you guys have these homeworks that are brilliant and they're beautiful and they're cool. But I think some of the most amazing things that you guys have offered me in the masterminds and just getting to know you is being able to broaden my ideas of what success is. I thought success was making $50,000 with a hugely full schedule as a gym owner. Like, that's literally like, if I can make 60 grand a year, like, I'm crushing it.
Work 90-hour weeks.
In Brooklyn, working nonstop.
No, even at the
2 jobs.
Vegas mastermind, like, we recalibrated.
Dude,
success.
after I had my question and then Brian went, I was like, oh, dude, I got to reevaluate again right now.
But
5 minutes
one of
after
the big takeaways was like Ellie's hot seat was, I'm not successful, and it was like, well, what's success? And it was like, okay, cool, we make this tweak. Now what?
Now you're successful.
Right. He was like, I want to play music more. We fixed that. Like,
Yeah,
the
I'm living
dollar
the
amount
dream.
was like
Thank
a couple. Actually, coming off Josh's podcast, it was like eliminating some limited memberships,
Right.
which we're still moving potentially towards. But you are successful.
I think so. I think there's also a little
Not
bit
you
of the
think so.
imposter syndrome
Hey,
that I have
let's do a role play.
massage out of me.
Ready? You are successful.
Therapy session with acne. This is
What
why
do
I
you-
love it.
what do you say?
Therapy set. Oh,
No.
I'm good enough.
I'm
And gosh
smart
darn
enough.
it, people like
I'm
me.
good enough. I'm smart enough. And
And gosh darn it,
That's
people like
right.
me.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
There we
no,
go.
it's just great. You are truly successful.
But what is that worth when I can see someone like Brian or you guys and go, oh, there's a lot more money to be made. There's a lot more
But that
people I
doesn't
can
make
be
you
helping.
not successful.
Correct, but it's that eye-opening experience of seeing where the horizon really is versus where I thought it was.
It's not
I'm
a new
shooting
horizon.
for the exit, and they're
It's not
shooting for the
It's not a
moon.
new horizon. It's just perspective. It's another view of the same thing. Be like, oh, that's your version. That's my version. I'm like, there's a little overlap between these two things, but like, I don't like everything about that. But it is interesting to know that that's possible. It's
Yeah.
interesting to know that
Oh, yeah.
it's interesting that you're doing that. Okay, cool. Maybe now I'll take some of that and use it. And I think that's one of the that's why we do the Monday motivation calls, which is just like, why you're like, well, I'm just gonna get in and listen to all these wins. I'm like, so that you understand what people are doing, and then it starts to ingrain in your brain. I'm like, oh, there's loads of people doing all these good things, right? And they're not all business related. They're
Dude,
like,
when you meet most gym owners, they're just grinding, and they're, I don't know, they love CrossFit, they love it, but not necessarily thriving.
Right.
And that becomes the norm.
Right.
And you guys helped
like it's just supposed to be
reinvent
like this.
that.
And you're like,
For
I'm starting to see the norm is like a happy living it up
Why can't you be
owner.
there?
Why not?
What level
Why not?
are you within Affiliate U?
2? Level
Two.
year 2?
I think that's right. No, you're level 2. And,
level. Yeah, sure.
right,
Yeah,
and,
level
and
2.
Fern Boucher
I wanna be
is
a
the
4.
level 4.
Ah.
And he's one of maybe 5. Who Steph's here, Kapu is here, Allison's here. We're interviewing a bunch of our level 4s. But Fern has said it, like, we need rabbits to chase. And Boucher being successful doesn't mean you're any less successful. It's now just giving you a rabbit to chase. By the way, he's in Bumblefuck, California.
Which might be
It's
harder.
Very different.
I mean, we could argue that's harder to open.
But it's very
open
different. Like, you're comparing apples to pomegranates. And
It's like a Jewish thing.
I like a good pomegranate. But point is, you're successful, and you're going to be even more successful because you see those people.
Amen. Yeah.
Amen.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
He asked me to do
hope
a
so.
Jewish prayer. Baruch atah Adonai, right?
To success.
They're all the same at the beginning, right?
You're in the tribe too, Nate?
No, Nate.
I knew I
he
liked
likes
you for a
Jesus,
reason.
and Jesus
Nate does
was
like him
Jewish.
some
Looks like
Yeah.
Jesus.
So there's that.
Nate loves him some Jesus. Cool.
It's been great.
Yeah, dude. We're
It's
proud
been
of you,
great.
bro.
We're
I'm
psyched.
flattered and honored, and I was surprised. I don't know. This was a bucket list.
You're always so strange about it. You're like, oh, I can't believe we're like texting and this. And I'm like, we're buddies. Like,
You're
what do you
my
mean?
friend?
Yeah, like, what do you mean?
No.
Like,
I've done that. I've been like, Jason Ackerman's my friend.
I'm he is
trying
my
not-
friend, and I don't want him to be.
he's like, damn it.
Can I have his?
It's-
I can have him.
It's different tone. Jason Ackerman's my friend. Jason Ackerman's my friend.
Jason Ackerman won't leave me alone. We're not there yet. Maybe one day.
He's
One day.
basically my wife. Imagine that.
If I stay in Boulder for like 6 weeks,
That's right.
Yeah, you'll be there.
Jesus, guy.
Dude, keep doing what you're doing.
I really appreciate you guys.
Love it.
I really do.
If you guys are in Coney
Lightning.
Island, hit him up. See you guys next time. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.